You know, they were wondering, what are they going to call you? What are the grandchildren going to call you? And I said, well, I don't want some dumb name, you know, that comes from some kid that can't really talk yet. So I said, how about GOPPA? So then I started calling different girls, and they all were doing something or turned me down. And then I called Beverly.
He asked me out at the last minute. I think he had a date for this party in Port Huron. It was a fraternity party. And she backed out or something, anyway.
And asked her if she wanted to go, and she said, yeah, all right. I said, will you make a lunch? So she made a lunch, and we went. And that was it. That was it. Then I started seeing her. When we got married, yeah, we knew we were going to have kids, sure. That was part of it.
Janie when I was 23. Peter when I was 24. Chris 27. I had 4 kids by the time I was 30.
And at night, I'd tell them stories or read to them. Mostly I told them stories and make them up as they go along. You know.
A very fun dad who'd make up games and make up bedtime stories and songs. It was pretty fun.
He wore Italian shoes and nicely tailored sport coats, and he had a style about him. He was cooler than us, we the kids, which is saying something. Probably still is.
I just remember thinking, my dad's way cooler than I will ever be.
He was so childlike, not childish, childlike, that he was always so much fun.
It's totally different, I imagine, too, than most people's dads. A friend, you know, he just kind of hangs out and does stuff with us, and he's never, ever told me what to do, you know.
He used to tell his sister stories when he was like 6. He'd make up stories, you know. So he always had a story in his head.
He always had a yellow pad and a pen, and he would sit and write wherever we went, even on vacations. He was always writing.
I believe that you get closer to your story when you're writing on a pad in longhand. You're putting it down, what's happening, you're right there.
I can't even imagine writing a book. It's like I can't even imagine where all the ideas would come from and the characters, and it's just, no.
I don't know where the ideas come from either.
Poets like him because of the way things flow in his books. There's definitely almost like a musical rhythm to it.
You can like tell what a person almost looks like just from how he has them talk.
He has a way of getting right to the heart of the character through what they say, and just their attitudes come across, which I think is his great gift.
When you see the shelves filled with his whole life, really, because all these characters are part of Elmore, it's pretty impressive, and he's still going strong. He will always write. I think he would be bored to death if he just decided to stop.
Once I started writing, I got more ambitious because I knew what I wanted to do. So then I could just apply myself.
How could you not write about it, you know? I mean, all the stuff going on in Detroit, you know, it's his own backyard.
If you want to write, Detroit is a wonderful city to be living in because there's a lot happening.
He likes the grittiness of it, that it's real.
I just think it's cool that he never wanted to leave and that he likes to write. He doesn't write as much about Detroit as he used to, but I think it's cool that he does, and you know, that he never wanted to leave his hometown.
He's the local hero.
Elmore and Detroit are, you know, one and the same.
This is where I live. If I lived in Niagara Falls, I'd write about that.
Early on, it's hard to picture him without a cigarette.
Cigarette is kind of part of his persona.
Elmore smokes Virginia Slim 100s, and he's probably the only man I know who smokes Virginia Slims, and he works it.
You know, he kind of licks the side of his lip and takes another drag, and he pushes around the cigarette ash with his cigarette while he's talking.
They're a little long.
With that funny little filter. And I think they're awful, so I think it's funny that he likes them so much.
So we always used to laugh that that's what he would have to go to the store and ask for, like at Mills or something.
I do his typing, and a lot of times I'll come to a page because it's his yellow pages, and I can tell when he's lit a cigarette. When he lit a cigarette when he was writing that page, because it smells so strong.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine needing a cigarette to write, but it's worked for him, so why not?
I started to buy them when this girl said, I love Slims. You know, she always called them Slims.
Can I borrow one from you?
Sure.
I think his connections are much more through humor.
You know, the humor is the one thing I see. That's what has been passed on to Leonard kids.
I'm proud of all of them. I think they're all funny. and they're all close to each other. I think this family is maybe closer than most families.
Yeah.
We get along with each other, and you can make fun of Peter if you want it. Anybody.
He doesn't think you should worry about things. He thinks you should just ride out your problems or whatever is bothering you, or what, you know, something that you're worried about. He doesn't think it does you any good to worry about something.
You don't need to do what's expected or what everyone else does to have an interesting life.
No, not really.
Don't judge people. Be nice to people.
If you feel that you have an ability to do something and you have a desire to do something, that you should go for it.
Work hard and be responsible for yourself.
I think it's very good that Elmore lives in the now, and that's what keeps him young.
He's just always so cool about everything. It's almost inspiring in the way he's lived his life, and he still lives it on his own terms.
He's confident, he knows he's good at what he does, but he's not cocky about it. He doesn't think he's better than anybody else.
Well, I've always gotten along with everybody. It's not hard.